these things. The coils aren't getting dirty really.
So you don't have to clean the coils anymore.
Yeah. Well, the blower is the biggest problem. And your customer will tell you, what's that?
Drain pan.
The drain pan? Well, if we're,
It comes from the blower, yeah. We actually worked with Mitsubishi for 4 years, from 2005 to 2009, and we worked with their engineering department in Atlanta. And basically, we identified that the dew point was at the lowest.
they don't.
There. Hey, John, how are you?
Yeah, well.
I'd shake your hand, but I'm recording Chad. I got to cut out some
Are
of the
you
curse
recording
words.
me? Son of a gun.
How are you doing? Good to see you. Are you recording? I knew I'd get it. Oh, yeah.
Well,
I
I've
got
got
a
a
seat
customer
for
who's
you.
got a commercial application. It's a tobacco warehouse. And so the drain pan stopped up almost immediately. I mean, first month it stopped up.
Okay.
So I don't know if this would be a good application for that or.
Well, what happens is a lot of that goo ends up falling in the drain pan. So if you can control the goo in the coil, it's just like our coil and drain pans for air handlers. If we control the goo, the drain pan water, you can drink it.
Can we put it in a sealing cassette?
I have Chad do that as a
or is it
test.
only-
You can. I actually had someone put them in a sealing cassette, and it'll work as long as you're shining it on the blower wheel. But again, you're going to have a lot of light coming down in that application.
Jim found a new application as well. I'm sorry, I didn't want to do
No,
that.
I was just saying we haven't in-house tried that application. So I mean, technically, yes, it will work because that wavelength will disinfect the wheels. as
You
long
just
as you're
need
shining right
4
on
of them.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
He has a new application for it as well.
Yeah, the guys are out there working on P-Tax. P-Tax uses the same blower wheel that the mini splits do. And if anybody's ever cleaned a P-Tax before, to clean the coils
They
ain't
get
the problem.
nasty.
It's just a blower wheel. Those things will get clogged up, out of balance, and so, those P-Tax got a small cover on the top of them. You take the cover off, easily installed right there to where they'll shine on the coil.
The other really nice thing about that is that they use that foam insulation inside of those. UVC will eat that up and cause it to off gas. So you got to be careful with a lot of those that have the injection, the white foam insulation. You see it on a lot of the cassettes and stuff like that. A lot of P-Tax have the same thing. This product, not damaging the plastics, would be great for that application.
So if you
That's
got anybody
awesome.
who manages motels or anything like that utilize a bunch of P-Tax, whoever's cleaning those things, be glad to get a hold of something like that.
You guys don't have any motels or hotels around here, do you?
No.
But we will actually start to manufacture and design this product in its marketing for mini splits and P-Tax.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely
Fantastic.
look forward to that application.
Just more opportunity and ice flaker, ice machines. We're looking at all kinds of different stuff. So there's little ice flaker machines at the nurses stations and hospitals they get nasty.
Yeah, and the lights, and as he said, they're safe. They won't hurt anything. They won't hurt you. They won't hurt your eyes. They won't hurt pets or anything.
You can stare all day long.
And right now we have a 5-year guarantee solution on it, warranty as well. It could last longer. So
They're saying actually that it could last 7 years, but we
Yeah.
just don't have the field trials to be able to
right.
make that
So
claim.
we just gave it a 5-year.
So what happens? Okay, so we got a 5-year ballast and a 5-year strip, and at 5 years you change it and put this new strip in there. What if in like 5.5 years you have I keep saying ballast, driver fail? What happens at 5.5 years if I have a 5-year warranty?
You're screwed. You're buying a new one.
Call me.
You are.
Call me and I'll get
This
you.
guy.
Don't listen to the boss over there. We'll warranty it.
And you guys.
We always stand behind our products no matter what. What sucks is having a car that's warranted to 72,000 miles and at 73, the damn rear end goes out in it, and they go, "Well, you're 2 miles over." We don't do that. So at the end of the day,
We actually already changed it to lifetime. I just haven't told him.
did we already change it to lifetime?
Oh, you better.
We are.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because I hate that too.
Well, so and the reason I reference that is because our original Bluetooth was a 5-year
We don't keep
ballast
track,
warranty,
honestly.
and we're still warranting those things to this day. And it's been 15 years
I
since we made one of
know.
those.
We don't
things.
keep track.
Question, John?
Do y'all work with like engineer firm or?
Architects. And engineers?
We've been trying, John, for a long time. It's just I don't have that core base of representation into that industry, so
Reason I asked-
we're not good at it.
If you have someone that we need to get in front of,
Well, we just got 3 hotels
yeah.
and all got P-Tax. It's like 200 something on one.
Wow.
200 something on another. And it's new, but
Yeah.
I mean, I always did like spec it saying these are put one, you know.
We have specifications that we would love to give out, but yeah, most of the time, if we can drive it through the owner to say, hey, I want this, and then he just makes it part of the specification.
Really, I guess that's something that's been in a year. Go knock on the doors.
Engineers don't love UV yet because there's no ASHRAE standard. it sucks because we've been trying to get one since I've been around 18 years in this UV side, and it sucks because we don't have one. So they can't say do it per any standard. So what they do is they normally say incorporate UV light, and that's it. So you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need more access into that though. But you know, the community at large, a lot of more people, these people have them in their homes. So we are starting to see them in more specifications, just because people take it to their work and go, why don't we have these at work? Why don't we have this at the school? Why don't we have this at... So it still is making this move, especially commercially. You know, HL, I guess you and I are going to the airport on Thursday. You know, airports and schools and hospitals, they are doing it for, like we said,
Cruise ships and
yeah, and cruise ships. They're doing it not only to keep the coil and drain pan clean, because it does save money when you don't have to constantly clean it, but you do reduce your liability exposure because you don't have a moldy coil. I mean, if I wanted all of us to make a boatload of money today, I would tell one of our friends that's a lawyer to go in and test the coil and drain pan at one of the local hospitals, and then sue them for all the patients that had to stay there because they had a hospital-acquired infection, which hits like half the population when they go into the hospital. Half the people get it. But, you know, I don't want us all to make a lot of money, so I won't do that right now. But if anybody knows any lawyers, I'll help them find everything that they need to do it. But that's what we haven't had yet. We haven't had the big lawsuit.
Yeah.
And when
That really
somebody
gets everybody-
finds that coil drain pan issue, watch out.
Then they'll spend the money.
It's over, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, they're just-
We just need one big lawsuit that they find the microbials, which they would. You know, when we go into a hospital and they say, hey, like actually the airport's not great either, but when you go into the coil and drain pan area of an airport or a hospital, every microbial that's ever been there is here, and they got all their buddies with them. I mean, it's unbelievable. So once in a while I'll go into a hospital and I'll say, hey, you know, and I always do it on purpose now that I got smacked a couple times, but I say, hey, okay if I take some pictures? And they're like, absolutely not. Because if I show a picture of a moldy hospital air conditioning coil. We had one in Jupiter, Florida, our own town. We had a hospital and we said, man, we'd love to put UV lights in. You're not doing anything. He's like, yeah, no, we actually barely clean the coils, man. They're kind of filthy. And I'm like, all right, well, we're putting one in for free because all our friends are coming in here. So, you know, let us put one in. So we physically went and did it ourselves, gave it to them for free. They didn't pay a dime. And they said, you know, they said, which coil do you want to do? And we said, just pick your worst one. We'll do that one. All right, the one for the OR, the operating room. So we went in there. Hadn't been cleaned in 7 years. They actually had dropped the ladder down to walk in and out of the coil that you're supposed to leave on the top, you know, when you drop down in the big coils. And they had left it in there, and it just had like cake full of mold. And so, you know, at that point, we didn't really know what to do because we're putting UV lights into a real dirty situation and it's going to cause more problems. So they did clean that one, and then we put the UV lights in. So we'll go back in a year or two whenever they want to go back and look at it, and it'll be spotless. So, but yeah, it's coming though. But we do need, you know, anytime you want to give us an opportunity to talk to somebody on your behalf, engineers or end users for commercial buildings, it's a no-brainer. We did a in Florida, in our little Jupiter town, there was a hotel, I should say, a Wyndham. They did every room in the hotel. It was $60,000 in lights. I mean, in one fell swoop. And then we're going to get about 15, 20,000 every year or two for the lamps. So, you know, we get our contractors and our wholesalers involved in this type of opportunity.
We're doing Orlando Health now.
Yeah.
And it's every month we get.
But we're kind of by ourselves. Like, nobody's out there pushing. So it's kind of, we're like little flag. But you know why they don't want to help? They don't want help is they like cleaning coils. They want that repeat business. Ice machines. I make UV lights for ice machines. It's the best idea ever. You talk to an end user of a Subway or anybody that has yeast in the air, or bars, you know, all these pop-up bars now. Their coils are filled with microbial growth. Their ice machines are filled with goo. They're getting them cleaned every 3 weeks if somebody's testing it. It all has to do with the local authority. In that case, is someone coming down on them. But the ice refrigeration guys, they don't want nothing to do with my product. So you're telling me I only replace the light every 2 years and this thing will stay clean? I get paid 4 or 5 times a year to clean this thing. So where's that revenue going to go? I'm like, well, why don't you incorporate it in the price of the unit and then maybe get rid of those 2 knuckleheads that you can't keep from getting high every day that go clean ice machines, and then you just service the unit on a lamp change out. Make your life a lot easier. But they just don't think that way yet. So
Ice machine bulb, 1 year or 2 year? or-
2 year,
2 years.
2 year warranty. But yeah, we're in the same boat with commercial for existing business. But please, if we can help you, we do make lamps up to 60 inches long. We can cover that wall right there. You can get control panels. You get real fancy with it.
I thought we had a spec for
Disconnects.
architects. Didn't we have one?
We do. That's why I told John if we can, if they want it, we have it.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to get it in front of them, and
Gotta
they
get
have
in
to
front of the
understand the
architects,
benefits.
yeah.
You know.
We'd love to. You get a good architect who does a lot of commercial design work here, and we'll pay for it.
And you're loaded with them here. You have more engineers than anybody in the country here,
We'll put them up
right?
in
You used
Jupiter, give
to.
them the factory tour, and let them meet our engineering team and our commercial team and see the products. And
If you could ever get them together in a room or a nighttime, like happy hour or anything, I would love to come up and present to them and
factory tour.
Drink with them a little
Factory
bit.
tour.
Factory tour.
factory tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody want to come to Jupiter, Florida? You make your way down there, and on you, and then I'll pick up the rest.
I can't get
You
John
can only
to pass
stay
the
a minute.
panhandle.
You can't stay more than a week.
Sorry.
More than a week, you have to go get your own place. But-
The southeast Florida is really nice too.
I called Dale when I was in Destin, but we were too far apart.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Destin, yes. Yeah, you're
It is beautiful.
7 hours.
It is beautiful. The beaches are phenomenal up there. I want to move on to PLP as well, guys. Any questions on that stuff? Again, you got my number. Call, ask before the class, after the class, whatever. It's all good. So, any questions right now? Just sitting here. Again, I want you guys to have just a really good understanding about technology and what we're doing and why you want to hand over one of my products versus the other guys at the end of the day. So, we try to do it. We have access to everything. We have 340 different combinations of products now. So we can pretty much fit any application in the industry, and we're continually developing new technology. So again, if you don't think we have it, make sure you make the phone call, because chances are we do certainly have it. So the next thing I want to talk about is our Purity Low Profile product. It's a polarized filter media. These things have been around for a very long time. You guys all familiar with this technology?
Have you ever seen them?
We used to
What
sell
what
this
brand?
Electro air before.
Electro Breeze. You've seen
Oh,
Dynamic.
wow.
Dynamic is the biggest player.
Dynamic's one of the ones that's out there, right?
Cimatech.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one we used to sell.
Yeah.
So I'll just give them the quick history,
Yeah.
but there was one player originally, Dynamic, in the mid '80s. Dynamic and they had two owners. They each had the patent for this technology. Well, they broke loose from each other. So the one guy kept the name Dynamic, the other guy took the name Cimatech, and they had one big user. The guy was buying a boatload of them. His name was Pierre. Well, those two started fighting so much, he didn't know who to work with, so he just started his own company called Electro Breeze. So for the last 30 years, they all were up in Montreal building these products. Eventually, Dynamic headquartered in Princeton, New Jersey. So they're making them up that way. But this Electro Breeze guy, Pierre, he sold his business to us this summer. So we actually moved his manufacturing to Jupiter, Florida, made in USA. So we're going to be really revamping what you see here, but this is what's been existing for
This is the
30 some
original,
years.
the original design that we've been dealing with. The only
They
thing that
haven't
we've
changed
done,
it.
the only thing that we've done differently with this product is that we've treated the media with our nanotech, our Gold Shield antimicrobial technology. So you get a capture and kill versus just a capture, right? So what this is designed to do is there's a little low voltage lead that comes off of this thing, hooks into your transformer. There's a little metal probe that goes down into the filter and contacts that pad and charges it, right? So basically, you've got a charged pad that's actually activated. It's not activated carbon. It's just regular raw carbon that actually will take out VOCs and obviously the filter takes care of particulates. So what's happening is it's charging the pad and it acts like a magnet and grabs the particulates. So even though it's a nice free flowing pad, it's acting like more of a MERV 13, 14, 15 type product.
Yeah, even 16 actually.
Yeah, even 16. So we're
Achieve
getting
that.
really great particulate catch on this thing. It's 0.03 microns or 0.3 microns.
So it's 0.3 micron.
0.3
We'll actually
microns.
achieve over 95% removal, but we'll
Yeah.
get 99% over 1 micron.
Yeah.
So it's actually a MERV 16 rated 1-inch filter, which is nobody on the market has it except this technology. But it's a MERV 8 as far as a pressure drop. So it's like a good 1-inch MERV 8 for pressure drop. But you do replace it every 3 months,
3
as
months.
you're going to say. But yeah, what you have is you have 6,000 volts coming through that little probe, and it, like Chad said, it spreads out through that activated carbon pad, and that charge is like a big magnet for microparticulate. So the bigger stuff gets caught on the outside, the smaller stuff gets caught on the inside, and it is a disposable media.
So even if, and you guys understand the bipolar technology, right? We can have that conversation here. We're actually charging the particles that make it through the filter and causing them to stick together and become bigger particles. And guess what happens then?
Stick.
They stick on the next pass or they fall to the ground. So that's how we're getting those submicron particles out of the air. So when we say we're capturing 0.3 size micron particles, or sometimes smaller, depending on how many passes it's taken for them to come through, we're actually taking those little tiny particles that most filters aren't catching it. We're charging them, creating larger particles, and we're catching them on the next pass. That's the cool thing about this. And unlike our bipolar friends, guess what? You get to sell them every 3 months. Filter pad, replacement pad. And the other thing is we're catching 100% of the air on every pass, and we're hitting VOCs with a carbon pad. Nobody else is doing that. Pretty cool stuff. And again, it's antimicrobial nanotech, the same stuff we use in our carbon. So we've got a polarized media that's ionically charged and it's antimicrobial. Really cool stuff. There will be some changes coming up here pretty soon with this product. We're going to be improving the product as we move forward, but at the end of the day, we've got this in all of your ream sizes, and that spec sheet I just sent Charlie that has all of the 3 different sizes on the short low profile rack that remakes, and we have 3 different sizes on the one that holds the 1 or the 2-inch media. So we have all those filter sizes, perfect fit for your ream equipment. So if you got a guy who's buying the additional filter rack, which a lot of them are, you can utilize this product as an upsell for them to go with that filter rack. That's kind of differentiate themselves from their competition.
Well, like Steve, you mentioned Cimatech, right? They're a tiny player. The biggest one's Dynamic. And a lot of you don't know that product, and because the reason is because they haven't sold through wholesale distribution in like 15 years.
Right.
They took it away.
Yeah, sell direct.
And so they sold direct to the big guys, the ARSs, the service experts, the 1 hours. They cut out the wholesaler. So the fact is you're probably not even selling a lot of replacement pads for this. So this is a brand new market for all of us to play in, because 99% of contractors haven't seen this thing in 15 years or have never seen it. So they don't know that they have a 1-inch solution for these higher levels of MERV removal.
I was shocked at how well mine worked. I'll be the first one to say I was a little skeptical, and I put one in our apartment in Ocala, and I could not believe how fast that thing got dirty. And so the initial install, it gets dirty pretty quick. You've got to change the pad, but what's happening is it's catching all that stuff that your old filter wasn't catching. And then over time, it starts staying cleaner for longer. But again, you wind up with about every 3 months you have to change it. In a really super clean house, it might last 6 months, but again, at the end of the day, I'm just telling you, it's a 3-month filter. I mean, at the end of the day, it's $20 for a 2-pack for
Yeah.
these guys, is cost.
Yep.
So you've got a product that's at $10 a pad, is really, really affordable compared to a lot of the upgraded filters options. You got a filter pad that lasts 3 months for $10.
And it is by far the best filter you can buy.
Without having the pressure issues. This
Yeah.
is a really great opportunity, guys. This may be the biggest opportunity on this table.
I believe it is tenfold,
Yeah.
because everybody has a 1-inch filter they need. So like, why not you get them a really,
Every
really,
system
really
has
good
a
one?
filter, guys.
The biggest concern would be restriction.
Correct.
We're
Stack pressure.
And we're going to show you guys a cool video here, not now, but we're making so everyone can understand how it works. But like Chad said, it's a magnet, so it's going after the little guys, unlike a pleated media that's collective. So actually, you can't get a MERV rating on this thing. Weirdly enough, MERV stands for minimum efficiency rating value, but they use this polyester dust when they do the test for MERV, and how much you collect on it, and the size. They use 4 different sizes, and how much you collect on it is how you get your MERV rating. This product, because it isn't collective like that type of product, doesn't even actually attract that polyester dust, so it passes right through it. So this product is really for those asthma allergy sufferers that really want clean air. And again, every 3 months are going to replace it. But, talking to the guys in this industry that have played in a long time, they never have restriction problems. So, but we are going through a bunch of testing because we're scared to death of that. Because that's why Florida, years ago when we brought this product in, nobody wanted it. And we're like, why don't you want this? And they're like, it's too restrictive. But back then, even this diamond plate that they use here was a lot tighter. So it made for some other issues. So we are going to be redesigning it. We love the product how it is. I shouldn't say that. We like the product how it is, but we're going to be redesigning it. The other thing too that we're going to be offering is an adjustable range size.
We're also going to be
So-
spraying this with our catalyst, the same catalyst that we use in our PCO products. So it'll be UV reactive to help with additional
Yeah.
VOC breakdown. So the filter will never get funky, and it'll help keep it nice and clean, the VOCs out of the carbon pad. So again, a couple new, and again, a UV friendly pad is also a big plus in this industry. Most people's filters don't hold up to UVC.
Yeah, that's a big
we
one.
do
If you
it
guys
with-
got guys mounting it in the A coil and then they put a filter underneath it, the filter gets disintegrated in a week. So then they end up asking me for a shield. Well, can you put a shield on it because we don't want to hit the filter. So we made a filter that's it's UVC resistant. So now the two work together. So anything that's collected on the filter will actually be sterilized too. So you've created another area where you don't allow any microbial growth.
Well, back to the package unit, so you don't have a filter rack, you can put it in, will it go on a regular standard wall?
Yes,
return
absolutely. You
grid?
just got to get low voltage charge to it.
I had that conversation this morning with the contractor. He's like, they put them in. They were one of those big names. I said they buy them direct from Dynamic, and they end up putting them in the return back grill. So, and they
That's
run
a
24
really
volt
great
wire.
opportunity for a contractor. I mean, really, at the end of the day, to get that residual filter pad replacement business, it's not so expensive to where his customer will buy it from him, but he can capture it and sell Lowe's or Home Depot getting it. It's kind of a no-brainer for most contractors, I would think. So, and we're comparative pressure drop numbers to pretty much everybody.
Any
We're
1-inch
less restrictive
Mervate.
than the really tight pleat guys like the 3M guys. We flow way better than those guys. We flow better or closer to like your regular cheap throwaways. Most of your pleats we flow better than. It's a 1/4-inch water column at 300 feet per minute. Is that what it was? Our equivalent.
Pretty
It's
great.
not much. It's a low static pressure. So here's the other thing. I had a guy say to me the other thing was, well, what man? You know what happens is the thing gets impacted. I'm like, hey, guess what? It's a filter. You got to change it. It's doing its job. If it gets clogged up, it's doing its job. We want it to get clogged up.
The best
We want the
filter,
customer
the
to be
best
aware
filter is
and be able
a
to-
piece of plywood. That's the best filter.
It'll stop everything.
Stop everything. But yeah, you know what? If you guys have certain filters that you guys are selling a lot of in the 1-inch, I'd love to know what they are. Just get a little list from them if you
We'll do
can,
a comparison.
because we'll do a comparison for you on our pressure drop. So it'll be
Yeah,
helpful for your
Stephen, like my
customers.
experience with this thing was it did get dirty real quick. If I was a contractor and sold a customer one of these and didn't say, hey, we're going to want to check this in 30 days, and then here's, it comes with an additional pad, we'll
Yep.
get you, and then you want to change this out. And as we go forward, they'll start lasting longer because it's taking that stuff that's been in your house that your regular filter hasn't been catching. And they will see that. I saw it myself, again, blown away completely. So again, if a contractor goes in and sells one of these and doesn't explain to your customer that, hey, let's check this in 30 days and see how it looks. But after a few changes, it'll be a 90-day filter, right? But we have to get over that initial hump. But that's what happens is that guys will sell it and not tell the customer, Scott, and you will wind up with a restriction issue. Absolutely.
We have contractors that will not put plates in their systems because,
Yeah.
just
They
because
don't change them.
basically
Yeah, they don't change
the
them.
install could be the problem too, and they've got bad static to begin
Hallelujah.
with.
I agree with you.
So then they put the Mervate in there, and now they just
Now
go
they kill
backwards.
it. Yeah.
Right?
So
So they're like, hey, don't put that in there. Only use throwaways.
I'm an
Yeah.
ex-service technician. I will tell you one of the biggest problems I had with customers who were calling was that their cheap throwaway filter was sucked up into the coil. I don't care what kind of filter you got. If you don't change it, you're going to have problems, right? Even the cheap this flows like a cheap throwaway, but it's grabbing a lot more again. So you're going to get dirty, and it's rigid. It's not going to get sucked into the coil. It's going to sit there and just go make that fun
When you
noise.
start hearing the funny noise, change your filter.
Right. So at the end of the day, it's got to be changed. So and we get that. I understand it. But the contractors who understand the value in something like this. So here's the deal. You guys aren't capturing 95% of the replacement filter business, maybe less of every piece of equipment that you guys sell. This is a great way for you guys to capture more of that business and lock it in. We can do this to where it's Google proof. We can do that in a Platinum, a Patriot, or Warrior, to where he can go sell the product to his customer, and his customer can't get online and go, shit, I gotta call Joe's AC to get filter pads. Locks in the customer. Guess where Joe's buying from? You guys.
And the one reason we bought this old guy's company is not how many products he's gonna make, but all the products he has made and all the media that's now being purchased. The
It's
guy
huge.
is huge in replacement media. So people that have this really dig it. So, the other thing is if you put it in returns, if you put it in returns, some houses will have 5 returns.
Yeah.
And so now you're talking some big money. That's in Florida, they're doing it. Some guy said, I put in 20 of those in a house. And I'm like, dang.
They do a remarkable job of improving indoor air quality. This is, of all the tools that you have, every system that you guys sell, every system that your customer services, they all have filters. We can do custom sizes, guys, also at no extra charge. We have all the ICP sizes, so if you got a customer who buys a lot of Carrier, or anything like that, we have all the perfect sizes for that. We have the Goodman sizes. You got a guy who buys Goodman, but he buys supplies from you guys. We have those sizes as well. And again, we can private label them all day long. We do promotions. We'll help customers. We'll give them some free product if they bring in a bulk order. In bulk order, like 10 pieces. Again, at the end of the day, we want this to be a successful product, and we're very hard to make sure that you guys have good success with it as well. Our customers just have to understand, Stephen, to your point, they have to understand that you have to change this filter. You have to maintain it.
No one's been
the good thing
educated
about
on
that
this
is
product in
making sure-
15 years, so
Yeah.
it's brand new
Making sure that your
market.
customer understands that this has to become part of his business model, right? If you just put this in and ignore it, your customer's gonna have problems with it because they're not gonna.
Airflow restriction.
Right, so you have to be there to go, hey, this is where you come get your pads. We'll send you a reminder in 30 days, say, hey, let's change that filter. I'll have Sue from the office call you. Again, they gotta make it part of their business model. At the end of the day, when we talk about contractors, biggest challenges, getting new customers, keeping new customers, right? Keeping those customers once you get them, not letting their competition get them. This is one of those products.
You got a switch on, turned off where you change the filter?
Just-
No, it's,
Unplug.
yeah, you unplug it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the noise it makes.
It's a 24 volt
Does that.
connection.
If somebody wouldn't touch
What was
it.
that noise?
Is that incorporated into the size? I'm sure the strip that's on the top there, the plastic part, is it, so if I need a 20 by 20, is the filter actually gonna be a 19 and incorporate that 1 inch of,
Right,
Whatever this
correct,
is.
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, we'll either ask you whether it's nominal or actual size, and we'll make it to that size, including that 1 inch electronic driver, which is same thing as the other product.
Eventually, I think the driver will be remotely located.
Yeah, that's our
We're gonna-
plan,
We're
is-
gonna move that off the filter.
Yeah,
into
so,
the-
and that adds to restriction, so we can have more of a filter surface than
are
that.
you
So
familiar with the electrostatic Honeywell's?
yes,
Like the F300?
Yeah.
yep.
What does this compare with that?
I have my chart in front of me. I want to tell you that
That's a great product, but it requires a big space. So, but just that product has to be cleaned or washed in the dishwasher. Is that the one?
are you
Is that the
talking
one?
about is that,
You talking
that's,
about
This is
electronic?
the F300?
Because the F300 is the
Electronic air.
that's the electronic air cleaner. Yeah. So again, those you have to clean those, and that's what we're not doing. Is we're not cleaning.
We wanna
We're just
take- we
throwing
wanna take
those
the
away.
pads
But I
and
love
put
that
the fresh
product.
pad in.
It's a great product.
It comes with a pre and a post filter, and
Right.
it has basically I want to say ionizing bar inside
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a great product.
It's old technology. It's been around forever. It does
But,
produce a little
you're-
bit of ozone, by the way. Just it does produce a little smell, which is again for odor control. It
Yep.
works great, but air purification not so much. And it does not take out VOCs. It does not take out chemical compounds, and it's not antimicrobial either. So biologicals will make it through it, and so will VOCs. Well, we're catching and killing biologicals, and we're also taking care of VOCs with carbon pad. And we're doing it in a 1 inch slot.
That's the big difference. Is I love that Honeywell. That's a great product. You just sometimes don't have the room for it, but also your replacements on it. It can be costly, and it's costly to run that product. So this is it's costly to buy.
Yeah, how much are they? Huh?
They're like a $400.
Oh yeah, at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
We used to sell a bunch of them, but I don't really care. One in stock.
Well, we've got the 100, 200, and the 300, and each one have a different level of
Filtration,
removable.
yeah.
So
Well, the 300 is only electronic.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
only electronic. Then the 200 has like a
They're
merge.
just the
Merv.
MERV 10 and MERV
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a real nice display for this product. I'd love to have one up somewhere if you want to try it out. But the filters are all mounted there in the display, and it just basically tells you what it'll do. So,
But if it would compare to that application, this would be a whole lot easier to sell.
What do
Yeah.
you think, guys? We got 3 cool products here today. New technologies. that will really help add to your bottom line, hopefully, and help your customers really expand their offering and help them offer more solutions to their customers than they currently have. You know, that's what it's all about. We want to be able to. I don't ever go to a customer and go, oh, I don't know, we can't help you with that. I don't want to be that guy. We want to be able to go, we can do that. We can take care of that.
All right, say goodbye, Chad, to your video.
Well, am I still being? You know, I didn't even.